Hello everyone to the channel. If you're coming back, I appreciate it. If you're new here, welcome. This is a channel where I pretend to review Blu-rays, movies, Ultra HD, 4K, all that fun stuff. So today we are actually going to be taking a look at The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue. It's a little bright there. This is released on Blu-ray from Synapse Films. I have grown up watching this film. I actually have right here, this is just the sleeve to it, but this is the old Anchor Bay VHS right here. So I have that on VHS. It's as you can tell, it's the title's Let Sleeping Corpses Lie, and then The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue. But that's the actual name, The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue. And then they had multiple different names. So this is released on Blu-ray from Synapse. There was a previous Blu-ray by Blue Underground as well. I'll tell you right away, Synapse one, oh, beautiful. We did some screen comparisons. I will put the link in the description at Cultsploitation, and you can see it's like night and day difference between the transfers. You're going to love it. Okay, so let's get into the movie. Let's talk a little bit about the movie and see what it's all about. All right, wrong one. Okay, so let's talk about The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue. What is it all about? Okay, so it takes place, obviously, in England. Yeah, we follow George, who is an antique dealer. He works at an antique shop. He is going to the countryside on his bike, and as he's filling up gas, he meets Edna, who is played by, I'm going to bring her name up, Christina Galbo. Christina. I loved her. I've always loved her. Redhead. Oh, so beautiful. I remember watching the VHS and just falling in love. Anyway, that was a tangent. So, Edna accidentally backs into George's bike. And George is obviously upset about it. But man, is he a fucking dick to her. He's like, well, the least you can do is give me a drive. Okay, yeah, but don't have to be a fucking dick about it. He's like, I'm going to drive. You're not going to drive. You can't drive. Oh, yeah, fucking dick. Anyway, so Edna and George, he's like, okay, I'm going to drive. So he's going to drive to where he was supposed to go. But Edna's like, I have to go meet my sister. It's important. So he's like, fine, whatever. Hopefully I get some boop action. So he goes with her, and they get lost. And they end up on a farm. And that's where we see this big giant machine. It's like a big, almost like a combine. And it's using ultrasonic radiation to destroy pests like ants and bugs and everything that's destroying crops. Unfortunately, the scientists don't realize that it's actually sending a signal that is bringing back the dead because it works on primitive minds and whatever, magic. So it started bringing back dead. So meanwhile, while George is up talking to the farmer to get directions, Edna is attacked by a zombie. It's a zombie that was murdered. He committed suicide in the water. And he comes up out of the water, attacks her. What's weird, though, is in the movie, they make it seem like his body wasn't recovered when he first attacks. But then you find out that, yes, it was. It was recovered. He went to the graveyard. Well, obviously he didn't go, but they took the body and they were going to bury him. So I assume that when he awoke, he must have wandered back to where he was originally drowned, I guess, to his place of demise. So anyway, she gets attacked, but she survives. And George doesn't believe her, obviously, because George is an idiot. And they end up going to meet the sister, and a zombie attack happens at the sister, and someone dies. So George still doesn't believe her. He doesn't actually see the incident, but he thinks the sister is the culprit. Besides not just George believing Edna, there's this cop played by Arthur Kennedy, just known as the inspector in the film. The voice actor for him bounces from sounding like he's American to really heavy Irish. And the actor, Arthur Kennedy, who let's see what he's been in. Because he's a well-known actor. He's been in a lot of Westerns. He's in Lawrence of Arabia. He's been in a lot of stuff. So he's a well-known actor. I assume he's an American actor with a name like Arthur Kennedy. He's probably, actor in an American film. He was born in Massachusetts. Yeah, his character, I think they personally just had him read from the book of cliche detectives, like American detectives, because he's like, just automatically assumes that Edna and George are the problem. They're the ones doing all this killing. So he's like going after them. Meanwhile, George and Edna are trying to figure out, okay, are the zombies really alive? Is Edna going crazy? So they go to a cemetery to see if the body is actually there. Surprise, it's not. They get attacked by zombies, and obviously a bunch of stuff happens. I'm not going to spoil. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. So that's what happens, and eventually, it all leads to this like ultimate showdown at like a hospital and stuff, and actually a very dark ending. I really love the ending of this one because no character is safe. That's what I love about the movie. Also, some really cool zombie action gore. There's one scene with a nurse. Her like, well, I'm not going to spoil it, but it's pretty cool. If you've seen the movie, you probably know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so that's the movie. That's Living Dead at Manchester Morgue. It's fun. It's lots of cool zombie, lots of cool music in it. I like sound effects of the zombie. It's actually just a director recording his voice, and it just sounds really cool. Issues with the film. Obviously, the inspector. I'm not a big fan of how over the top he is. It did cause some laughter from me and my girlfriend that was watching. Zombies do take a while to actually get to any sort of like zombie massacre mayhem. It's not like a George Romero film where the zombies are just constantly attacking or anything like that. There's a build-up. It takes a while to build up, but it is only 93 minutes, so it's not an incredibly long film, so it's not something that's super, like a super problem. Super problem! So, yeah, I think honestly that's it. That's all really the negatives about the film. It's just an awesome film. It's a great Spanish directed film set in England. I don't think much of it is actually shot in Manchester. I don't know. I'm not from England, so I don't really know. I know it's filmed around the area. Manchester Morgue is it's mentioned in the film, but I don't know if it actually takes place at the morgue. It takes place in a hospital, but I don't think that's the same hospital. So it's a little weird. So that's why there's probably multiple names for this movie. Personally, I love Let Sleeping Corpses Lie. I think that's an awesome name for the film, and I think that's what it should have been called in the end. I love that name. Okay, so let's talk about the Blu-ray. Okay, so as I already mentioned, we did some screen capture comparisons between a previous Blue Underground release and this new Synapse film release. Right away, you can tell that it's so much better. It's crisper, it's clear. The grain is left intact, it's smooth, there's no compression issues that I could see, and it's just not as dark. I found the Blue Underground one, it is dark. You can not make out a lot of details. This one here, it's exclusive new 4K restoration from the original 35 camera negative. And if I look at the Blue Underground one, I don't think it says anything about any sort of restoration work. It's just it just says 1080p. That's it. There is a new 5.1 surround sound on it. I didn't watch it with the 5.1. I watched it with the original mono. Let's see here. Yeah, beautifully restored in 4K from the original camera negative. Synapse Film presents the film with the true original English theatrical mono mix and the real opening and closing credit sequences intact. I don't remember what the VHS, the opening and closing credits of the VHS, but it does say that this is 93 minutes as well, and they're both 93 minutes. Take that for what it's worth. Okay, so what do we have for special features on here? It is pretty packed. We got 2 audio commentaries featuring authors and film scholars Troy Howarth, Nathaniel Thompson, and Bruce Holchek. We have restoration of the true original English language theatrical mono mix, which I already mentioned. We have George sorry, man. It's the director. It's the director of it. He did pass away. I don't know when it was. It wasn't too long ago, but he did pass away, so they have a little, like, kind of in memory. But he actually, like, the documentary, it's feature-length documentary. It's 89 minutes, and it has interview with him, but it also has newer interviews with other people. None of them are coming off the top of my head right now. Anyway. We got the scene of the crime, Giannetti de Rossi in discussion from Manchester, that's 16 minutes. We got Gianetto Di Rossi, a Q&A at the Festival of Fantastic Films in the UK. That's 43 minutes. If you're wondering who that is, he is the special effects. He did the special effects for the film. So there's 2 features with him. And then we have the theatrical trailer, TV spots, radio spots, and newly translated removable English SDH subtitles. So here's the disc. Whoop. Green. This is just a catalog booklet of Synapse Films. And there is nothing, no reverse cover. This is just, like I said, this is just the standard release. Yeah, so that's the Blu-ray. So let's give it a rating. We're going to rate everything. We are going to rate it. So the movie and the Blu-ray, I would give it, you know what, I'm going to give it a great rating. I'm going to give it 4. I'm going to give it 4 because I do have some issues with kind of the pacing and the detective. So it is 4 ripped booby. No, that ain't right. I'm going to give it 4 half-naked zombies out of 5 ultrasonic wave farm equipment. Pretty good rating. So, I appreciate you coming back. If you're new here, please click the like. Please click the subscribe. Please click the notification button. Please head to cultsploitation.com. Please head to importtaste.ca. That's the Canadian side of Cultsploitation. Moi. Please go to our Twitter. It's like Cultsploitation. Instagram, Cultsploitation. I don't know, read my diary online. I'm sure you could probably find a diary that I wrote back 20 years ago. I don't know. Just do everything to get some traction on these videos and to get some more people watching. We appreciate it. I spend so much fucking time with these things. That's actually a lie. I don't really spend a lot of time, but I do. I mean, kind of. Not really. This one's, I'm just rambling. So, you know what? Good day. Have fun. Bye. Buy the movie. Buy the Blu-ray. Living Dead at Manchester Morgue. Synapse Films. Beautiful. Good day! God, look at my hair. I know. I look ridiculous. I just shaved. I look like a 40-year-old trying too hard. Okay? I'm not even 39 yet. So, for a couple more days. Anyway.